Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time. The last time I posted on this channel was 2 years ago, back in July 2021, almost 3 years ago. So for those of you that have watched my previous videos, I'm sorry that it's been such a long time coming for this next video. And for those of you coming back, welcome. My name is Sam. Nice to have you here. And if you want to check out more videos, I plan to be making a lot more going forward. And in this video today, I'm just going to tell you about what's been going on and kind of part of the reason why I've not made videos in the last couple of years and kind of what's been going on in my life. Yeah, there's been massive changes in my life last couple of years, so I'm looking forward to kind of just sharing that all with you. If you do like this video, make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe. And yeah, let me know kind of what you think down in the comment section below. And yes, guys, first and foremost, as you can see by the weather here, and also from the football shirt, I'm in sunny Mexico. For anyone that's watched the previous videos, you'll know that I'm from a city in the United Kingdom called Norwich. It's on the east of the country. It's about 2 hours away from London. And right now, I couldn't be anywhere better. I mean, in Norwich, as much as my hometown, and I love it, it's probably about 2 or 3 degrees. It's probably raining, hailing, snowing maybe. But here it's probably 25, maybe 27 degrees, and I can't complain at all. But what I want to do with the channel, most importantly, is I want to show you what life is like in Mexico in terms of as a football fan. As most of you will know, maybe about 20 minutes from where I am right now is the Estadio Azteca, one of the most famous stadiums in the world. It holds probably about 86, 87,000 people. It's been the place where Pele and Maradona have both lifted their own World Cups. And in 2 years' time, the 2026 FIFA World Cup is going to be hosted, and the opening game will be at the stadium just down there. So it's very exciting stuff. At the moment, Club America, one of the biggest teams, not just in Mexico, but in North America, they play at that ground. So I'm sure at some point I'll be able to do a vlog and show you guys what it's like to go to a game there. Sometimes another team from Mexico City called Cruz Azul, they also play at that stadium because they have some issues with their own stadium. But I think they're starting to play back there now. There's also my favourite team, which is Pumas. I'm sure most fans around the world know Pumas for their famous football shirts. They play at the university here, so there's plenty of opportunities with the season just started in Mexico to show you guys what it's like going to a football game to these places. So yeah, I'm super excited. I've lived in Mexico now for about 8 or 9 months, a little while now. I've gone back to the UK for Christmas and New Year, come back here. And really, what I want to do this year is I want to be able to show you guys what it's like to watch football around the world. Last year, I went to games obviously here in Mexico because this is where I'm living, so it makes sense. But I've also been to Colombia. So in Colombia, I went to Medellin. That's the only city I went to where I watched games because you've got Independiente Medellin and you've got Athletic Nacional, two very interesting teams. And in future videos, I'm going to be telling a more in-depth story about what it's like to go and watch a game in Colombia, especially because in the news and everything, you hear all these stories of like what it's like in Colombia and how dangerous it is. But here, for me, I loved it. It's one of the most amazing football experiences I've ever had. But yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. And yeah, enjoy the view here. I mean, there's not too much. I'm going to show you a little bit. I don't know what it's like. There's too much sun, but there's it's just me basically on top of the house that I'm staying in. But yeah, I'm going to go down to the studio now. I'm going to give you a bit more of an insight of what I've been doing. Yes, guys, welcome back to the studio. Now it's actually my bedroom, but it sounds cooler to say studio, so we're going to stick with studio. Welcome back to the studio. So yeah, as you guys already know, I'm in Mexico. And okay, what have I been doing? So as I said earlier, my last video was posted in June, July 2021. So that's a long time ago. What have I been up to? So, rest of 2021, I was just writing my normal football articles. I was still working for Kingsland Town, who at the time were playing in the fifth division, the fifth division of English football, and it just kind of fell through. It didn't really work out for me in terms of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to write about. So I decided to kind of move away from that. A couple of months later, it sort of more towards the start of 2022, I started working for Chesterfield FC, I started doing a lot of their match previews and sort of match reports before and after games, which was super exciting because the club went on to the National League playoffs before, I think, in that year, because it wasn't last year where they lost in the final, it was the year before. I think they might have also lost to Notts County, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But also whilst doing that, because with working for Chesterfield, I wasn't doing as much stuff as I did for Kings Lynn. I also was invited to work for St Albans FC. Now, St Albans played in the 6th tier, which was also quite interesting because at that time I was working for Chesterfield and St Albans, and whilst they weren't in the same league, they were both kind of vying for a playoff finish, which I believe they both got. It's been a little while now, but nonetheless, it was very interesting. So yeah, I did that until the end of the season, ending in 2022. A few months later, in sort of October time, I fully quit my job. I was working as a paralegal. And I went and travelled around Europe, which was super cool. And as you may know, I said October 2022, which wasn't too far away from the 2022 FIFA World Cup. And that was kind of one of the reasons why I travelled at that time, because it was a perfect time to kind of get a few games under my belt to watch domestic football in different countries. For example, as most of you should know, I think if you've watched the previous videos, I'm a massive Ajax fan. So I got to go and watch my beloved Ajax. I got to go on a nice sort of stadium tour, which is always beautiful to go and see your club in a different sort of light. I went to see Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. And whilst I'm talking about these, I'll try and put some videos, some sort of clips in just to kind of give you guys an idea. I went to watch Mainz, Fiorentina, Nice in France as well. So I got to watch quite a few teams before then the World Cup started, and I was in Croatia, Italy, Hungary, Austria, Slovakia. It was super cool. Whilst not all those countries were in the World Cup, it was really interesting to meet people from around the world and watch the World Cup with them. Obviously, I was looking out for England, but I was meeting people from Brazil, from Australia, from the US, Canada, super cool countries, just kind of seeing what they do to kind of get ready and support their teams. Anyway, that then kind of ends 2022. A few months go by, I'm back in Norwich, back in the UK, just kind of saving up a bit of money. I go back to work for the company. As I said earlier, I was a paralegal, so I went back to do that. And then the company I worked for, they allowed me, I requested, I said I want to live in Mexico. So they said, okay, here's a laptop, which I've actually got here, sort of holding up this camera. And they said, yeah, sure, if you want to go and work in Mexico, we'll give you all the resources and you can go out there. So I lived with a Mexican family. I learned a lot about Mexican culture, have improved my Spanish massively. I wouldn't say I'm fluent, but I can definitely hold a conversation, which is exactly what I wanted. And now that I'm back here, I definitely want to improve that. So yeah, I lived with a Mexican family. Which is really interesting as well, because the dad in the family I lived with is a massive fan of Chivas Guadalajara, which is many, many miles away from Mexico City. It's like the big rival team to Club America. It's like the El Clasico of Mexico. Anyway, we'll talk about it in a different video. That's not for today. And then, yeah, in sort of 2023, I moved here in April. In March of that year, so a month beforehand, I went to watch my very first NBA game. I'm a big fan of the Dallas Mavericks. So the Mavericks were playing in Miami, so I spent a couple of days in Miami. Went to check that out, which was really cool. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I went to Colombia as well. I got to watch 2 games in Medellin, which is crazy. Absolutely insane. It was bonkers compared to the way in which we follow football in England and in Europe as a whole. The way they do it in Colombia is incredible, and I can't wait to kind of talk about that a bit more in a video. But that rounds up kind of everything about me. Guys, it's good to be back. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little bit of a story. It's not a super long video, but it just gives you an idea of where I've been, what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of football writing, but in the last 6 months I've kind of dropped the ball on that as well, just because I've been enjoying life so much in Mexico. But I'm super, super excited because I've got a few good plans coming up here in Mexico to show you guys, both in an article but also in a video as well. So as I said earlier, if you do like it, let me down in the comments below. And if there's anything that you know about Mexico and Mexican football, please let me know, and I'll be happily available to kind of show you guys what that looks like here as well. So yeah, and also if some of you are from Mexico, you know, let me know, and I'd love to hang out with some of you guys and go and catch a game with you guys. So yeah, make sure to stick around, be ready for the next video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Peace out, guys.